Welcome to Astrology and Alchemy. Paranormal Sarah and Matt Slosier.
Hello, everyone. Lots of people saying hi, so I'm just going to give a blanket hi to everyone in the chat.
What a week this was, says Pepper, Carson, Terry, all of you guys joining us from all different corners of the universe. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, the Paranormal Channel, Paranormal Sarah, Matt Slosier, all of it. And that's exciting. So wherever it is that you may be joining us from, we're glad to have you. We hope that you will join us weekly and be sure and tag and bring a friend. It's free. It's fun. And you're not kidding. Last week, how'd it treat you, Matt?
It kind of sucked. Yeah, it wasn't great. Not awful though. Like nothing really bad happened, but I did a lot of self-care because I knew there was a lot of water. So that's my big thing is I don't deal well when there's a lot of water, and so I just chilled, took care of myself, conserved energy.
Right. Conserve. That has been the magic word. I am working on my own little Gypsy Tribe YouTube video that's going to go out for those people that join me on that kind of stuff. Conserve is the Pee Wee Herman word. And hi, Ruth. Hi, Brianna. For those of you guys joining us, let us know where you're joining us from, how your week was. Someone said, man, I got hacked 3 times. I drove back and forth to Kansas City over the weekend. And so I was checking in on family in Kansas City. And that drive is not a bad drive. It's all 35. But when you spend, 9 or 10 hours in the car with 2 kids, and then you get to your destination and all you want to do is just sleep, but then you have to unpack and get situated and deal with kids. And then the next day, you don't even know where you're at, but you got to do stuff and you're trying to do stuff, but you don't even know where you're at. And then the next day, I had to be driving home. And so it was like, people are like, oh, I wanted to see you. We should have gotten tea. We could have just really quick, so you could have stopped and chat. It's like, man, I don't even remember being there. I don't even feel like I was there. I didn't get to do anything. I didn't get to have barbecue. Very minimal. So for those of you guys, if you were in Kansas City this weekend, you joined me on social media, you saw that I was there. Don't be personally offended. If we didn't hang out, I was there taking care of family, but it's exhausting. Conserve.
Yeah.
Conserve.
I just realized we used to have some Australia people on that. Haven't seen them on in a while. I wonder what happened to Australia, folks.
Man, what happened to Australia? That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show, a political show, maybe. You guys, Mary, Heather, all of you guys, hi. And yeah, I have looked ahead. I know, Matt, you always say that you don't look ahead. You don't get an idea of what's going on. I have.
Which is bad because I feel like I'm not utilizing the cheat sheet you send out, but I stopped using the cheat sheet when we started doing this because I wanted to do it cold.
It's okay. I think that for those people in the Gypsy Tribe, for those people who follow along on social media, and you can learn more about that at Paranormal Sarah, I think having a cheat sheet, at least for me, I look ahead way before the month, and then I have allowed this show to be that way that I kind of just do it on a weekly basis. I'm just doing my predictions a week out, unless for some reason I need to be, ahead of the game, like I'm traveling or looking at holiday plans or things like that. So I have kind of looked ahead as far as November, and I have an idea of going into, I already know December 4th and December 14th are going to be pretty redonkulous, crazy. And so November's kind of preparing us for that. And so that conserve, that word in itself, I think has been really fantastic. So you guys, without further ado, save all of your questions till the end of the show. If you have any, write them down, keep a mental note, put them in your sidewalk. We will get to them at the end. But for those people who also join me in journaling, let's get to it. Let's get to Wednesday. God, it's going to be we're already November 17th.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? We're already more than halfway. So finals week for people in school, prepping for all that kind of space. Wednesday, November 17th. That's tomorrow. And what is going to happen Well, I'm sharing it in the chat room, so for those of you joining us there, you're going to get a little bit of a heads up. Mars in Scorpio. Mars, so the fighting, will to fight in Scorpio. We've been having that for a while now. Opposing or opposite Uranus in Aquarius. Now, Uranus is
Uranus should be in Taurus.
Taurus. Right. I was going to say this should be. I wonder if
Taurus.
this is going to be. Did we find a mistake?
Yes, it's Taurus.
Look at him.
Uranus
He's
moves
like,
really slow.
yeah,
It
it has
won't
to
be
be
in.
Taurus, doesn't it?
We'll be long gone. Like we'll have grandkids that are like older than us. I think when Uranus is in Aquarius.
Look at. I'm so glad that you know these things and you can catch me before. Man, I shouldn't even have typed it. Uranus and
It's all right.
Taurus. That's okay. We're allowed mistakes. You guys, I am allowed a mistake every now and then. Um, Autumn Moon Astrology. We'll put that one up. There. There.
There we go.
All the perfectionists in us just pretend that never happened.
Your Virgo self needs to just breathe deep.
I can't believe that was live. I'm ruined. It's fine. It'll be fine.
I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong direction. Virgo.
Okay,
Rise
right.
of setting her. Virgo.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, rebellious, deviant, crazy, fiery, wanting to break free, destroy our will, and mysterious Scorpio. But how do you see this happening and opposing with Uranus and Taurus? What does this mean?
Well, opposite is always like this tension between. So like the opposites attract and complete each other, but there's also some tension. And then my little pack of dogs are going nuts.
It's okay.
That's a Uranus event. Dogs going nuts. My computer crashing 5 minutes before we got on here. This is all Uranus type events. But Taurus, so it's a weird combo because Uranus, it's rebellious. It's that curveball out of left field. It's kind of unique, individual. It's you think kind of Aquarius energy. Taurus is stable and indulgent, so it's really kind of a weird match. So I always say it's kind of like I always think of Peppernell when I say this of I'm going to rebel by F my diet. I'm going to sit watch Netflix and eat a pizza. I may rebel against the rules and I may do things to change things up, but it's going to be in a very kind of indulgent, not very active way. And so that has opposite intention with Mars, which is kind of that male energy. It's, it's extroverted, it's aggressive, it's action oriented. In Scorpio, which I always say is the kind of like the James Bond sign, it's intensity. Very focused, very purpose. So this is very focused activity. I wish my dogs would shut up. Very focused intensity. I'm like so dogged out. I really am. Focused intensity, wanting to drive things with some type of purpose. I said agenda earlier, and I think that bothered people. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's purposeful. It's intense. Having tension with I want to rebel, but I really don't want to do anything. I want to just kind of relax, chill, and indulge. And so this is kind of like I want to act on my intense goals and what I have like as my internal plan, but I really just don't feel up for it today. I'd rather just kind of sit and chill. And so it's that kind of tension. It's the get up and start your exercise program versus hit the snooze button and stay in bed. That's the dynamic you're going to have.
So
you have to decide which one prevails. Do you hit the snooze button? Do you get out and start running?
I want to get up.
Mary, my dogs are very focused and intense right now.
I want to get up and go running. I want to do those things. So this impulsive behavior, this fiery Mars, this cryptic clue-like Scorpio with a purpose and agenda, wanting, man, I don't want to create more chaos. There's enough chaos. There's enough problems. Man, I want that routine. I want to breathe. I want to use this energy. How? How do we use fire and water opposite Uranus's water?
Uranus is air. So it's fire, water versus air, earth.
Air, earth.
Kind of cool.
Man.
Steam versus dust.
Yeah. That's how you see it, huh?
Yeah. You get air and water together. You get fire and water together. You get steam. You get air and earth together. You get, air erodes earth. You get dust.
Hmm. Not ash.
Now, I do
I
add,
think
I do fire and earth would either be ash or, I'd go ash or, kind of like baked clay, something like that.
I had put in the ritual work for this day to thicken, um, like a gravy is kind of what I was seeing. Like, what is it that, and almost this idea of a gravy and how time is going to work tomorrow. If you're making a gravy on the stove and you have your bacon grease and maybe you add a little bit of your flour and then a little bit of, well, I always add my flour to my milk first or my cream first so that there's no clumps in it. And then you add that kind of like what looks like a pancake mix into your grease, and you constantly are whisking it in your cast iron until it's a thick gravy. And you can turn the heat off, it's still going to thicken far after the heat is gone. And it's one of those, man, if you stop moving, if you stop whisking, even for a second, that pause, that rest, that want to chill and indulge, my hand's hurting, right? You'll ruin it. Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop, and it's okay to stop for a second, but if you take your eyes off of it, you're going to miss it. You're going to ruin it. You're going to burn it. Does that make sense?
Yep. I
Okay.
still say, what's it going to be? You're going to get out and run, or you're going to hit the snooze?
Yeah.
I know what I'll do.
I know what I'm going to do. I know what I want to do. It is a struggle. And I know this because, man, this is totally going to be about the morning. It's about that. If something is difficult, do it more. Period. And you just have to keep pushing. So this is really that it's an important time. It's a very important time. So keep this in mind for tomorrow. And for those of you guys with questions, feel free. And I'm wondering, how do you see this playing in with stuff going on with you? How do you see this panning out?
I'm going to add, and I don't know this for a fact, so let folks know this is my own theory. Since we actually have water and fire on one side and earth and air on the other side, I think depending on where you're at in your chart, what elements are dominant is going to depend which side of that. I'm a air earth person, so I'm well on the right hand side. I know I'm going to be stable and indulgent. That's gonna prevail on this one. I'm going to hit the snooze button. But maybe if you're balanced between the two, that'll be interesting. But I think where you fall in, what elements are dominant for you, could really dictate where you fall on that.
And Heather mentions, and kind of on this point, that if you're like recovering from a surgery or a vacation, the idea that to keep doing what you're doing. So if you're resting and you're thinking, man, okay, I took Monday and I rested a little bit and that should be enough. I need to get to it. But you feel your body in this space, keep resting.
Mm-hmm.
And that emotional shame, right? Or the feeling that you should be doing this, cross out that should and keep in mind what needs to be done. Take out the want and do what needs to be done, what you know to be true. And kind of, I'm kind of going to be keeping the water out of it and just letting things happen naturally, going with the momentum, not allowing things to be too
And it's
personal.
not always right. I'm just thinking of like when I had surgery, I was supposed to get up and keep walking. They'd have you like walking around the halls, walking around the halls, walking around the halls. So
Movement.
stable and indulgent can also be not in a good way of, because remember, rebel by indulging. So, hey, I'm just going to stay in bed and rest. I'm not going to get up and walk as much as I'm supposed to. Or they give that little spirometer thing to like blow, and maybe I'm not going to like that rebellious indulgent thing can also be, I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm just going to sit here.
Ugh, yeah. And to not let the feeling, not have that backwash, not have that emotional siphon come back in, do one of those where it's going to ruin and taint your space. Be very, very, very careful with the way that that stuff is moving because, like we said, if it's even keel across the board, then just a slight movement in one area or the other could kind of tip the scales. So that is tomorrow. That's Wednesday. That kind of sets the mood for the week. And the vibe is that there is an agenda. So, like Peppard said, maybe make a list. Keep in mind of what it is that is the goal, and then don't push it. Maybe make that list and cross two things off of it or something like that. Don't be crazy. And get in mind what these things feel for you, what these categories, these planets, what they begin to represent. You will start to see the pattern if you join us each and every week. And then, of course, astrology will be super easy. You'll know it like the back of your hand, like Matt does. It'll just roll off your tongue like that. Um, Thursday, my favorite day. Thursday, Thor's Day. I think of Lucky Thor. Mercury's direct. And on Thursday, Mercury will be direct in Scorpio. And that will be trine. Dun, dun, dun. Any social workers, health workers, or people in the social services, that's going to be trine Neptune and Pisces.
Your favorite?
I know. I hate this sign. I don't like Neptune and Pisces because that delusional water for working with mental illness and people that struggle with addiction and violence. This is a wave of delusion that, like, man, if people are obsessive and manic, they get very obsessive and manic. If people are suicidal, they can get very suicidal. If people are self-destructive, they overdose or they drink or whatever their drug of choice is. Every time Neptune and Pisces kind of moves, that's always a very emotional space, it seems like, for specifically those struggling with severe mental illness.
Yeah.
I see.
And Pisces is so introspective that it's just and kind of 12th house, which is, we don't really talk too much about the houses, but that's like the house of the psyche. And so it's this whole subconscious. And I always say Neptune, it's delusion. So it's foggy. It's, what you see, and the dog's back at it. What you see isn't necessarily what is reality, and trine is synergy. So here you have, again, Scorpio and, purposeful, intense, focused communication having synergy with this kind of introspective dreams, delusion. So I view this as Thursday, people are going to be articulating and communicating either what their dreams and ideals are, or they're going to be articulating their view of things that maybe is not in line with reality. So pay very close attention to what people communicate on Thursday, because one, you'll learn things, but two, also realize that what people are communicating might be their perception of reality and not really reality. So don't overreact to some of those communications.
Right. Don't take what's in that yin, what is in the abyss, what you're going into depth, with or about or for, and instead, I don't know. It makes me think of. I was listening to people's ayahuasca testimonies today. I've never done ayahuasca. I've never done hallucinogen. But when studying neuropsychology, there's a lot of people like polysleepin, like mushroom therapy, and all sorts of psilocybin and fungus and ayahuasca and crazy hallucinogenic treatments for all sorts of trauma related mental illness. And so I read a lot of things, and Oregon and Colorado are doing like tinctures for mushrooms and ayahuasca journeys. And thanks to Megan Fox, I guess, apparently her and her and that Machine Gun Kelly, they do that kind of stuff and have kind of popularized these journeys. And then recently on a Joe Rogan podcast, Ron, what's his face with the cigar and the whiskey that used to do the Redneck tour, comedian Ron Howard? Not Ron Jeremy. That's the crooked penis man. Ron something. He talked about his
Ron Howard's
ayahuasca
Opie, so
journey.
it's not Ron Howard either. I
It's
don't
not
know.
Ron Howard either. Man, I'll figure it. But he's an older man now. Kind of looks like John Denver. But anyway, ayahuasca, it's kind of on the run. Ron White. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ron White. I love the internet. After this, I've been listening to testimonials. Anyway, you have to write it. You have to stay in it. You have to expect to puke or get sick. You have to kind of have an idea of how long this time is going to be and not act on it, not freak out. If you are someone who struggles with anxiety or mania, anxiety is one of my demons. Know already, kind of have a plan what it is that you're going to do. And so if, Thursday, I know I'm going to be working, I'm going to be able to be home if I need to take a shower, or if I need to be able to get a, ice pack out of the freezer. If I'm going to have any kind of an emotional space, you will be prepared. And you'll already know that the delusional people in your life that might have a little tip of the crazy, you're going to be prepared for when they call you. Because they will call. Because it's Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, really, I would actually almost like journal. I got to just remember this. I always recap and replay this like midweek just to see how things kind of went. And yeah, I'll have to go back and take note of the communications I get on Thursday. Yeah, it'll be misreading things, and they're wired tonight. Misreading things, and or people communicating their reality, which maybe isn't accurate. I shared this before. I have 5 dogs, and they're all either Chihuahuas or Chihuahua mixes, so they all think they're like really tough, and so they all like when one starts going, they all start just
They're just on a journey together.
That's what they're doing right now. Intruder.
It is 101 Dalmatians. He's on a show. He's on a show. Let's be louder. Let's be louder. No, I don't think they do that. Never, never. All right. So Friday, something big's happening Friday. If you guys aren't, big into the witchery kind of stuff, or the Farmer's Almanac, or the idea of any of this meaning anything, of course, at all, other than just baloney, because it does. Some credence to our ancestors and the timing on Friday. Man, stop by and get a darn candle at the dollar store. Put a Sharpie on that thing, decorate it, do something for your home, get a bouquet of flowers. Because on Friday, November 19th, and I'll write it out for those of us in the chat room, wherever you are joining us, it is a lunar eclipse and a full moon. And kind of happening all in the sign of Taurus. A full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. This is supposed to be kind of removing obstacles, having that all right idea, but also the earth energy to have good decisions, maybe, right? Stubborn, but time to focus, pinpoint and understanding, thinking and improving self-worth, and thoughts of stillness and acceptance. I mean, hey, revealing the damned. What do you think for this lunar eclipse, Matt?
I gotta say ahead of time, because you're again. I say this every time, that you're more the moon person than I. I honestly, although I've come up to speed pretty quickly in this whole like area, I have not done much research or reading on eclipses, which I know is like a whole kind of subset of the whole astrology thing. So I don't know exactly what the kind of the theory is behind what should happen with that. So you're just going to get kind of intuitive world according to Matt right now, kind of put on the spot. So it's kind of blocking or shielding kind of the moon energies here. So I feel it almost as, and this is again just totally my idea, it's almost like you are blocking out the Taurus energy in you during this time. So I would take this as this is an area where there's a kind of a Taurus gap. So stable and indulgent won't be very stable and indulgent. So this could be a good level of energy to go ahead and do something. I view this as an initiative energy. So Friday into, I think it's early. Is it early Friday morning?
It is. I believe
No,
it's
so
early.
it'll be Friday during the day. Big, maybe initiative, do something different, do something new. Maybe even something that might be a little painful, like you want to start getting out there and do the run. So if you hit the snooze button on Wednesday, maybe Friday's the day to get out and do that run.
A tattoo.
Be that
I've
too.
been wanting to get lately, but maybe not. So when you look online, and typically you guys, I do go to llewellyn.com. I utilize their Farmer's Almanac there, or their Witch's Almanac. But it mentions, as far as astrological events, and kind of think about this. So you have the eclipse. It's this dynamic juxtaposition of light and dark. I love that, by the way. Cosmic occurrence. It's activating lunar nodes. It's activating the south and the north node in your birth chart, ringing them. Just a ding, that highest and lowest point of your best and your worst. This is not only a visually stunning thing, so you can imagine all of our ancestors maybe not being completely aware or certain of what's happening, but holy God, it's something they are predicting and likely aware that it's happening. But it's a significant time of great change, transformation, and the thought that, oh my God, there's chaos in the sky. It's going bog. The moon is and you've got this reason to look up at the sky, a reason to wonder if the moon is going to return. Is it? Is it? Like that. It's disruptive, it's exciting, and it's almost a purge kind of feeling because it's all or nothing. It's relationships, life, routines, careers, shifting and evolving, possibly from light to dark, from right to wrong, from red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. It's a lot of energy, and then it's being filtered through Taurus. Life change through Taurus. Everybody looking up at the sky, wondering if the moon is going to return, and wondering calmly, oh, snap. It's like Taurus is such an interesting energy, and it's on a Friday. This is happening on a Friday. And then, of course, we've got the coolest people joining us. Brianna says, I study Vedic astrology, and it will be at 3 degrees, making it exalted. It is a time to be at peace with personal emotions. You will be able to accept where you are. Think about humility. Think about deep acceptance. Really good addition. Yeah.
I was going to add too. We don't talk about the nodes, but just for folks on here, too much like your north node is kind of what you're coming into this life, your syllabus, what you need to like learn, what energies, and your south node is kind of what you come into this life with a PhD in. So I can just use my own, like my north node's Aries, my south node's Libra. So I told you I have like a ton of Libra energy and stuff. So I'm coming into this very strong and Libra-like, and I need to be more Aries-like. And I got to say, I don't have a lot of Aries type personality traits. I probably do need to be a little more aggressive and impulsive. And
Well, that may or may not be true for those people who know you, or in your own lives, what frequencies are going on in that space. Think about this, because the irony of what you just said, Matt. It's not the only thing that happens on Friday. So you have this full moon, lunar eclipse, beautiful space. And even right now, if you go outside and you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going to see it's quite bright out. The moon is just going to be stunning. And this is happening on a Friday. So fully expect crazy, end of the week behavior. It's happening in an interesting space going into a holiday momentum, politically speaking, after Mercury and Scorpio. So mysteries, things happening. And Venus is in Capricorn on Friday night, trine Uranus in Taurus. And this is going to happen Friday evening.
I love when there's Venus stuff on a Friday, Saturday.
I know. Venus, vagina, sensuality, art, and crazy sexual vibes on a Friday. In an earth energy where you already have life juxtaposition in an earth energy. What's that mean when you think of Venus and Capricorn trine Uranus?
Yeah, this is interesting. So, Venus can be both romance, but it can also be like money, business stuff. So, and this is interesting because Capricorn is kind of the CEO of the zodiac. It's the, little goat climbing up the mountains and then goes to the next mountain, goes to the next mountain. So it's all achievement, achievement, achievement. So there's a lot of different ways you do. So on the business end, this kind of syncs well. This is a good business energy. But also I view it on the romance side. This is, again, Capricorn's about achievement. So you can kind of spin that in lots of different ways. But so whether this is romantic conquest or, romantically wanting to be with somebody that makes you look good or makes you appear successful, it's that kind of Capricorn energy isn't a very, certainly not warm and fuzzy, and it's certainly not very, it's a little bit of a colder, more,
You know the
um,
song that my brain keeps singing over and
yeah,
over and over, and as you're using these adjectives, it just the best things in life are free,
yes,
but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money. Ding,
yeah,
ding,
yeah.
ding, 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 ding,
It's yeah.
ding. It's cold and crass, and it's not her voice was not even that.
Mhm.
The lyrics are not like, ugh. Yeah, but it's catchy.
I,
It's a
I'm a
hook.
sun Capricorn, and so hopefully I don't get. I always get, even though I don't try to like be bashing any signs, I always get like accused of bashing signs. But this is one that I share, so hopefully nobody takes it bashing. But we kind of have a rep as, I don't agree with it, but Caps kind of have a rep for kind of being kind of assholes, and so it's it is, but it's certainly don't have a rep for being warm and fuzzy. That's, that
Um,
is not a, it is not a warm and fuzzy sign. So you got romance right now in a more cold, achievement oriented, impersonal energy with synergy with, again, that weird combo of I'm going to rebel by being stable and indulgent. So this is a weird, I got to think about it. This is a weird combo. You got the kind of almost, trophy partner energy syncing with I'm going to rebel, but I'm going to rebel by being, maybe this is, I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. Hooking up with somebody that makes you look good, but also there's something rebellious about it.
mm,
So this is the, I'll show you.
oh
I
yeah.
just one up, my ex is going to be in the room and I'm going to one up them because even though I really don't care for this person, they're going to make me look good. And so be careful if you're on the receiving end of romantic attention from someone, because there could be no potential feelings to it at all. This could all be about looks and appearances and possibly revenge, rebel on somebody else. So be aware of that.
That's such an interesting I love that. The this morning I put it's kind of a synchronistic thing. This morning on my Instagram, I do a lot of neurolinguistic and etymology there. Churlish, a old English word for rude, vulgar, someone who might tell jokes at the dinner table. Late Old English, 14th century, like deliberately rude. And Shakespeare was the one who really coined it. Someone who is not civic in their behavior, the valiant as a lion and churlish as the bear, to lack charm or good wit. I see that word coming into play maybe a little bit here, and I think it's going to be fun on a Friday. Chuck Palahniuk on a
I
Friday.
love when we still got to get on here, whether it's this show or Sunday Night Dad. We got to find somebody. So let me know if anyone out there knows somebody who's willing. I would love to have somebody that works in or spends Friday, Saturday night in like a bar / club to just be able to report back to us as to do any of these things. That's what I always think of is like people out, doing their social things on a Friday, Saturday night, and then these energies and how it could manifest on the different nights. And so I just love to have somebody be able to come back and kind of report back to us on that.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, wouldn't that be cool? A bartender. I think a bartender would
Yeah.
be best. Um, someone, and I say someone, it was Dolly, said, I have not heard that song in ages. You're welcome. And then someone had recommended, those Capricorn individuals, those are the workers, those are the blue collar. This is that, energy that is um and it is. It's kind of, I even think of maybe even police in that space because they're not necessarily loved right now, but they're doing kind of the work on that Friday night. Um, we'll see how that we'll see how this goes.
We talk
Um,
about the pairs, like the nodes, that the 12 signs are in 6 pairs. And so like Cap and Cancer are on the same axis. And so Capricorn's kind of the dad and Cancer's kind of the mom. So
right, that
Cancer,
dad
homey, Cancer,
discipline.
homey, nurturing, kind of emotional. And then the Capricorn's kind of the just, go make money, be stoic, get
Stoic.
shit done,
Do it.
discipline, ruled by Saturn again, the rings,
Mm.
not the life of the party.
Same shit, different day. Let's do it. Do,
I
do,
like to
do,
think I'm
do.
I like to think I'm more fun and entertaining than a typical Cap, but maybe that's my Libra stuff.
Ah. Um,
I'll let you all decide.
Dependable. I like the dependable nature of that because it's one of those, even if they are an asshole, you can depend on them to be the asshole. And that's nice. You just have to reiterate all those adjectives and remove whether you like it or not and just know that that's the way they are and that is not going to change. And that is kind of nice. If you're sitting there waiting for that Capricorn in your life to respond or to move or to change, good luck.
I use this example to a lot of people, and this describes me, but I think this also describes kind of Capricorn energy too. If you ever see that meme that's out there with all the emotions of Kristen Stewart, and they have like emotions, and she's all like, "That's like Cap energy." Like you're not going to get a whole lot of like, they're not the person to come to like to get like they may be empathetic towards you, but they're going to suck at trying to they're just not good at it. It's
Yeah,
just
no, I'm crying. I'm crying with you right now.
I'm torn up inside.
I am really torn up inside right now. I feel your pain.
I'll have the flip side of I'm rejoicing inside for your.
That's
I'm
great.
having a wonderful time.
That's the best. Yeah, this is the best. Whew. Yes, Friday. Get ready for it. I can't wait. And I love watching how this predictable stuff pans out. And then we have Saturday. So get this, we're just moving. We're halfway through the week. We're halfway through the hour. Saturday. I've got to type this up so that I am typing as fast as I am saying it. Now, Mercury is direct still in Scorpio. But on Saturday, so think about how this is going to happen after Friday and whatever those things mean for you on Friday, because it is squaring off with
I see where
Jupiter.
oh my god, I see where this is going. This is gonna be fun.
Okay. Squaring off with Jupiter and Aquarius, Mercury and Scorpio. On Saturday. So you may not want to focus on anything too serious or heavy. Take a break, that continued pause. If you think about adding this, subtract this. If you think about a person dead in the library with the candlestick, well, it's one less candlestick and one less Stephen in the world, It's like, what does that mean?
I see this is the perfect follow-up to Friday and what we were just talking about. So Mercury again, intentional communication, intense communication. Squaring means obstacle. It's in your way. You have to deal with it. Jupiter is opportunity. It's expansive. In Aquarius, which is rebellious. So, that car pulls up and says, hop on in. We're going to go do something rebellious. I see this as the trophy person the person picked up for revenge communicates on Saturday. Hey, want to go do? And you get the blow off or you get the slap of reality of, I was just paying attention to you to make my boyfriend, girlfriend jealous. And actually, we're going out tonight.
No, yeah.
Yeah. It's the Saturday. This energy is like the slap of reality of if you were used to make somebody else look good or be used for their stable and indulgent rebellion, Saturday, the light gets shined on that. And any misconceptions or misperceptions will be dissipated by that Mercury and Scorpio communication. So be ready. If you met somebody really interesting on Friday and you didn't take our advice, and now Saturday you have this wonderful idea that you're just going to contact them and ask, let's go out for tacos or something like. Just be ready to get the blow off conversation. I need to go wash my hair. I need to wash my hair.
This
Um,
has been really great.
I'm just not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it. Oh no! How do you think that this is going to pan out for people? They're not going to necessarily enjoy this feeling.
I feel bad for the possible emotions, and in my Capricorn, Kristen Stewart, I truly do feel bad for the
Oh, you thought that was
emotional
a day.
damage that's going to happen on Saturday. But I do see this kind of being emotionally damaging stuff on Saturday.
Yeah.
If you weren't aware on Friday, you need to
If
be
you
aware.
weren't aware.
You need to be aware on Friday. Now, if you know it's a superficial thing, then just go have fun and realize that it's a superficial thing. Don't
Yeah.
get attached.
No worry. Don't get attached. Don't get attached. That's the phrase. That's really what I think would be the best advice for anybody out there listening to that. If you are having some hookup or you're in some space where you're finding a new relationship, even a friendship, it doesn't have to be romantic, new opportunity, business partner. Oh my God, your neighbor. Oh my God, I'm a millionaire. Oh my gosh, you're doing a business. Let me invest in you. Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry. I was so drunk. I, I, what did we talk about?
Yep.
You were going to give me $7.2 million. That's we talked about that. You don't remember? It's like, don't be that way. They were drunk. You should have known. Be prepared. Pay attention. Don't get
Hmm?
attached. We told you so. We're telling you right now. And it's only Tuesday. This is going to happen on Saturday. So we're time traveling. And then, that's not the only thing that happens that day, I do believe. Oh my God. Oh my
I'm hoping
God.
there's something even better to compound it.
2 other things happen on that
Oh wow,
day?
cool.
What? Saturday's a big day after the lunar eclipse. So not only do you have this happening, Mercury with Jupiter in Aquarius, but then do 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 do, the sun enters. You know what it's entering?
Mhm.
Sagittarius, baby. The sun moves into Sagittarius after the lunar eclipse in Taurus on a Friday. Saturday, you go, oh, that was crazy, but I'm not attached. And the sun, I can see clearly now. The sun's in Sagittarius. And what does that mean? That's a fire sign. Yeah. Oh, people are going to do shit anyway.
Mhm. Ruled by Jupiter, which you say the Chris Farley energy. I
Hmm.
kind of think I think of a bunch of different ones. I think of Belushi. I think of Robin Williams. I think of the show. And don't take this the wrong way. I had somebody take this the wrong way that felt I was being derogatory on this. But I think of the show Jackass, where they're doing things like
Oh,
jumping off a roof into piles of elephant poop.
you know what? We don't
And
need your
stuff like
$7
that.
million. We're going to go out and do it anyway. We're going to film it with whatever we have. Fuck it. We're just doing it.
So the way I view this, there's two signs I view as like the light signs: Gemini and Sagittarius. Gemini is the social butterfly one, going around being wildly entertaining, talking to everybody. Sagittarius is the one that's gonna like at the party, like doing wild shit. Like they're the ones like
What are they doing?
let's dive off the bedroom window into the swimming pool.
Let's
It's
do the
action, it's
shit.
exploration. It's a little of like taking that Aries, screw it, just do it, but with a much more like lighthearted event where I think Aries is a little more like angry and intense. Sagittarius is like it's exploration. It's if you ever run into those people that it's like, life's not about stuff, it's all about experience. That's like Sag. It's get out, do things, experience things,
Well, and I think about
it's
too
a fun
how,
energy. It's not particularly stable though, because they always want to experience new things. So it's very, it can be very fun, but it can be very fleeting.
right. Well, and I think about how it almost needs an audience. Sagittarius
Mhm.
seems to want to entertain people. And would Jackass really have been doing that if they weren't filming themselves? Probably, but wouldn't have been what it was. So, in essence, I think that there's a lot of doing and this kind of energy that it's that mutable, that word mutable, but not dampened. It's mutable because it is adjustable, because it's flexible to other things going on. The thrill seekers, yeah. And depending on whatever that is that jumping out of a plane? Is that going playing chicken? Is that, what is that? It depends. Depends on what's around. So the sun, you're going to see it. The sun, it's going to be visual. The sun, fire, 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 fire. If people say, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go do this then. I quit. I'm going to quit my. They might do it. They might actually mean it. They may not mean it, but then actually do it anyway. Because, well, fuck it. They just said that.
And I always find it interesting how it like pendulums. So we're going from Scorpio, which was this intense, don't show your cards, we're very action oriented, but we're gonna not show exactly what we're doing, to now all of a sudden, toga, like just it's always very interesting how as we shift from signs, it goes from kind of one extreme to another.
Well, and this is just the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Boom! Lay it down on us. Saturday afternoon, you have Mercury in Scorpio still direct, but it's going to be sextile harmonious with Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in that earth energy that we also see Venus in right now.
So Pluto, that big impersonal change, big changes, big transformations, big stuff in Capricorn, which is, again, we already talked a lot about Capricorn energy here. Scorpio, we talked a lot about Scorpio. So we have this communication with this very intense intent. I always view sextile as it removes an obstacle to. So I'm actually going to do this one in reverse and say that huge change, big impersonal changes in the world, kind of in that achievement space, eliminates obstacles to this very purposeful, intense intent communication that you want to do. So if there's something you want to communicate, something you want to say, something with some kind of, plan, or again, I'll say agenda, but I don't mean that in a negative way. Whatever your kind of like plan is and you want to communicate it, I view this as like stuff just clears for you to do it. I know we've used this on a previous show. Harry Potter, the one where he took the liquid luck and then all of a sudden everything just started clearing. It's like one of those things. Just fortuitous things are just going to, it's like the Wheel of Fortune card. Things are just going to move and clear, and your ability, if you wanted to communicate this thing, it's going to be wide open for you.
Wah! I had put in my Gypsy Tribe astrological cheat for the month to dig deep. That neurolinguistics right there. Dive down low and do research on the need to know. Do not get wrapped up in your obsession or your feelings or the movement, but instead use the mental energy to comprehend, understand, know your limits. 5 ways to say yes or no, like expanding, learning, and growing the communication space is what I had recommended. And now I kind of hear you expanding on that Pluto right after that lunar eclipse. This is going to be, you know what? We were drunk at the bar. You said you were going to give me money, but you know what? I don't need your money. And you know what? I'm going to call my buddy John. And you call, and that person's like, you know what? I was just thinking about you the other day. I'm so glad you called. I've got an idea. Let's do it. And boom, this change is initiated. This idea comes to fruition. Things are manifested through expansion, but you have to know the who, what, when, where, and why of who you're communicating with. And if this is really, if you think you know, or if you know, you know. Do you think, do you know, or do you think you know?
Or that business idea fell through on Friday, and all of a sudden, out of the blue on Saturday, you get contacted from a former colleague that you haven't talked to in 8 years that actually is doing business in the same area and is looking to expand. It's just one of these kind of, it's like that curveball we talk about in Uranus, but this is a positive curveball. This is like things lining up and being good.
And it'll be a communication. It'll be a phone ringing.
Communication thing. Yeah.
It'll be a letter.
Yeah.
So, and that's because of Mercury, guys. So if you're feeling that omen, Hugin and Mugen, the ravens are speaking to you, it will. It'll be a text, an email, it'll be a call. and likely in a good direction for expansion. So that's always a good thing to look forward to. You don't have to be worried. Then, as we round out the last of the show, we got to hurry. Don't hurry, but focus. Sunday. Sunday, the moon's finally going to move. Man, about freaking time. No, I'm kidding. The moon is going to move into Cancer, and that is going to be sextile good old Uranus in Taurus still, right? Because Uranus is moving slowly. It's going to be in that sign forever, like we said. It's going to be in Taurus for here, there for a long time. Moon in Cancer, though. So when you think or see this happening on a Sunday after all of this change, after all of this crazy life dynamic change, how does this pan out on Sunday?
Moon rules Cancer, so this is all, think of it, the moon's always changing. So Cancer is water sign, so it's emotional. That emotion's always kind of changing. The crab, or actually even kind of like the turtle, as a, it's carry their home around in their backs. They're very, concerned about their home, but also it's kind of a hard shell, protecting, kind of mushy inside. Sextiles removing obstacles to, again, this stable and indulgent rebellion. So I'm going to view this as, I'm going to do this in backwards again. You want to do something stable and indulgent that kind of rebels against what you should do. And it's just going to emotionally feel really good. You're not going to be conflicted at all. You're going to eat that pizza and not feel guilty about it at all. Or, whatever that
Spend that
rebellion
money.
would be. I
Invest
will
that.
throw out a warning on this one. As if that stable and indulgent is kind of falling off any kind of wagon, or you have any kind of challenge on something that you have quit. This is speaking from someone who, and I haven't in a long time, but I fell off the smoking wagon several times. Be very, very careful, because this could be the nudge to, what the hell's going to happen? Go ahead and have that drink, or go ahead and have, whatever that. It could be a negative nudge. So just be careful.
Negative nudge. I see that as like a poor investment, or that, tender swipe in the wrong direction, or something like, I don't know, something that it's going to be possibly a bad decision, possibly something that, impulsive. So, just keep that in mind, and again, that's kind of why we do this, is so that you can be already in the mind frame that on Sunday, after this crazy weekend, people are going to be calling with all their crazy life changes and ideas and epiphanies and all this stuff. And you know what? Feel it out. Play Helen Keller. Be deaf, dumb, and blind, for gosh sakes. Not that we say she was any one of those things. That's crazy and ridiculous. Who knows? But the avenues of success come in many forms. Don't just immediately do the first. Kind of do many things, many ways, many perspectives, many forms. And just to be sure. Just to be sure. Now, Monday. Is it really going to be? Gosh, that's crazy. That happens into Monday, the moon in Cancer, sextile Uranus into Taurus. It's going to be late Sunday into Monday. And so that is going to be, that's going to be kind of how the week starts. That's crazy. That's how the week starts. Okay. And then Monday night into Tuesday. So let's just go ahead and say this is that last movement of the week. And we'll leave you with this, guys. So prepare with it how you will. And then, of course, join us next week. But in a week from now, the moon will be in Cancer. Again, still, moon in Cancer. Trine. Oh, you know what that means.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I don't want this.
Trine Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces on a Tuesday, on a Taco Tuesday.
At least it's a Tuesday and not over the weekend, but
this is going to be.
This is emotion having great synergy with this introspective, possibly self-sacrificial
people that miss the bus.
Deception.
People that are sad at everyone else's success.
This is where whatever could be diluted, whatever could be foggy, whatever you might be misreading, it's going to emotionally feel right. This is like miscalculation Tuesday. I would not This is one of those days where I say, if you want to act on something or do something, wait till Wednesday, because it might not look like nearly as good of an idea Wednesday as it is on Tuesday, and your chance of doing something dumb or wrong is pretty high on Tuesday. So just play well. It's like that delusion, and that delusion is just gonna feel right, and it's not.
Well, what's funny is, so again, when I was doing the Astro Cheat for this a month ago, I wrote down something very personal to myself on this day. Moon in Cancer, trine Neptune and Pisces for next Tuesday, that this is a Stellan day. So my firstborn son is named Stellan. It's a Scandinavian word. It's a Viking word for fog on the water, and it means peaceful uncertainty. So if you were, this early Viking out and usually using the stars and nature and all of these different, very significant ways to measure where you're going, compass to your travel destination, but then you're out on a foggy, no sun, sunstones aren't working, no wind, no sound, no waves, and it's just fog, that is the most dangerous. But yet it's a very special space. You learn a lot about yourself there. Peaceful uncertainty. And I suggested the allegory of the cave. Just knowing, like, are the shadows on the wall, or what you're seeing, is it real? Is this that Neptune and Pisces delusion? Is this something that's worthy of getting upset about? Really? Are we going to feel this crazy about it? We're gonna see someone else's really exciting life change over the weekend and go, oh, and have that break us down and make us, we don't need to be overwhelmed or thrown off kilter or feel misguided because of the shifts and changes and directional spins going on around us. Don't need to do it. You don't need to feel to think. I say that a lot in the therapy space. And of course, I'm a big hypocrite because that's really hard to do. It's hard to think about something and not feel, especially if it's like grief or anger or some of the more powerful, fiery emotions. But these are going to be watery things. So this is going to be sorrow, grief, heaviness, feelings, yearning, jealousy, envy, those kinds of feelings. And Pepper in the chat room says, man, cancers are practical. So they're going to want to feel useful where they're needed, delegate, all of these kinds of things to that Cancer space. And we're going to
Water
be
on
fine.
water.
Water on water.
Bad
Just
day.
kind of, contain yourself. It's
Bad
going to
day
be
for
a
Matt.
chips and movie day. Tacos, Taco Tuesday. Go get Mexican food with guacamole and just enjoy things and enjoy them in that way. And then that's going to be it. It'll be a full week. It'll all have panned out by this time next week, and you will know exactly what each and every one of those movements, as you journal them, as you're mindful of right now, and then in hindsight going, oh, I see how that worked out. Yeah, okay. You're going to start to see astrology applying in your life. And if you guys want to get a reading, if you want to touch base with Matt, if you want to let them know where they can find us, I will
Yeah.
put your links in
So we
there.
have, paranormalsarah.com. We have, you can message on the Astrology and Alchemy Facebook page, on the Autumn Moon Astrology Facebook page. You can email me at mslozer@yahoo.com.
I love that. Facebook, you guys, if you are a big Facebook user, go to the groups. We have Autumn Moon Astrology. We also have the Astrology and Alchemy, where we do like little giveaways and readings and reminders to the daily astrology. And you can go back and rewatch all of these shows. They are on the Paranormal channel. They're on the Paranormal Sarah channel. They are on YouTube, and you can find them. They're saved, so you can share them with friends as well. And go back and check those notes. Get that validation. That's how we use it. That's how we grow. And you guys don't forget to join us next week with a friend, of course. Bring a friend, because who knows what we're going to talk about. And I want to know how this lunar eclipse affected you, how you survived the full moon in Taurus. And and let's be here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for Astrology and Alchemy.
Have a great week, everybody.